Guys, okay, I'm setting up for the live Q&A and giveaway here. I'm going to give everybody just a few moments to kind of tune in and give everybody a chance to kind of get here on this video on the live stream before I start. That way no one misses all the first few questions and demos and all that stuff. So if you're just joining us, just go ahead and hang out for a second if you can. And I have like a mile-long list of questions that I'm going to just go right through just to kind of get the Q&A started and do like a few basic demos of the Tandem. And then I'll just come back and look at as many questions as I can just to get them answered. And then we'll do a giveaway at the very end for the Tandem, for any of our other current products, future products, all that stuff. So I'm going to keep getting set up. I'm just going to give everybody a chance to get tuned in and everything, and then we'll get started. So if you're just joining, just giving everybody a chance to kind of like log in and join the live feed. That way everybody sees most of the questions and demos from the beginning here. And I'm just finishing getting my little studio cleaned up and set up for the Q&A real quick. Let's see. All right, yeah, and I just saw somebody said something about a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway at the end of this feed, Q&A. We'll do a giveaway for any product that we currently sell, we're going to sell, or a refund on your existing order. So one thing I'm going to try to do as well, I've got a little bit more time today than usual, is compare this, the XL1 Deluxe, to the new XL1 Best V2. That's a huge common question that we get. And there's a little bit of info if you kind of like marry up different info from different sources out there, but I haven't done a direct comparison, I don't think. But I'm going to try to do like a brief top to bottom comparison of those. I'm just getting everything kind of put together here and giving everybody a chance to join. Try to get a little organized here. So there's Tandem, some XL1s over here. I'm going to put the XLCs over here. And I'll bring in the let's see, XL1 over there. It's the old XL1, so I'll kind of leave it off to the side. Hopefully I can remember to do a direct comparison. Let's see. Sometimes my prototypes get mixed up with my actual samples, so I have to be a little careful. All right, I'm still giving everybody a chance just to kind of like join in and get here. I feel like sometimes I start these a little too quick, and the big questions that everybody has are missed at the beginning. So let's see, I'm going to back you guys up some. All right. I'm going to try to form kind of like a half circle here of some sort, to try to give you guys a view of as many of these as possible, especially the Tandem, obviously. I always take it for granted, but you guys can tell how lightweight our products are as I toss them around my office. Let's see. Let me just get a few more things lined up and then we'll go ahead and get started. looks like a good amount of people are tuned in, so I think it's probably enough to get started. Let me just get a few more things lined up here. One thing I was playing with today, you guys probably saw some of the pictures of posting like color combos like this on the Tandem. So I wanted to make sure everyone knows, and this has always been the case, but especially with our new products that have like the color blocked seats, that you'll be able to combine canopy colors and strap colors with different colors of seats. So you buy the stroller, let's say like this one would be back here, the XL1 Best V2 in red, but you could put a navy canopy on it after the fact, so you would have to buy the canopy separately. You could put whatever strap, black strap covers, it doesn't matter. So I'll probably be posting a few pictures like that lately, or soon, so that you guys can see some different combos and everything. All right, just a few more minutes here. Sorry, I didn't want to go on any later because you guys would be mad at me, but I also wanted to give everybody kind of a chance to tune in while I got set up. So. All right. So the first thing I think we should probably go over is the Tandem, right? And that was a huge announcement yesterday that we had, and has received tons, and it's almost like going viral, at least in our little family-owned world, right? And the big deal is that it's a patent pending design. It's something we've been working on pretty much for 2 years. And the big deal is the connector between the two seats, right? So let me move some of this stuff behind it so you guys can kind of see the details. Sometimes this stuff will flutter up a little bit. So the connector is kind of like the big deal, right? And what we wanted to do, like when we introduced the XL2, our 16 pound, was 16 pound, now 17 pound, side-by-side double stroller, it was revolutionary. It was a super lightweight, super compact, fully featured double stroller that was well balanced, and I could go on and on. It basically changed, and it's affordable. It's probably the biggest thing with all those features. It changed the double stroller category for good, in our opinion, and in most people's opinion. So naturally, we were like, well, let's introduce a tandem stroller. And so, almost literally 2 years ago, we thought, let's just go ahead and do a super lightweight tandem stroller with the big canopies, just all of our features that we have on the XL2, but we wanted to kind of like take our time to do it right, and to do something really, really special. So just like with all of our products, it's not that like, there's almost never gonna be a stroller that's perfect, that is gonna be perfect for everyone and every use. There's always gonna be one or two features, if not more, that someone wishes a stroller had. That's why many people that are lucky enough to be able to afford more than one stroller have like 10 strollers or 5 strollers or however many. I see it all the time in the comments. So when we designed our tandem stroller, we had the ZOE customer in mind. So that doesn't mean that it's gonna be perfect for every single person out there, and it's not going to be like the stroller that fixes everything in your life, right? But if you are the specific customer we have in mind, then you're sure gonna love this tandem stroller. So the big deal, like I said before, was the connector, okay? The connector is super duper easy to use. It has this stabilizer up top that hooks into, let me make sure you guys can see all this. It hooks into the connectors that would typically be used for belly bar and cup holders and everything like that. So it hooks in super duper easy, just like that. And then to disconnect, you can either bend down and disconnect it at the bottom, or use your foot. There's just like a tab down there. Or if you angle, obviously with no kids in the stroller, if you angle the stroller properly, it comes right off. So it's that easy to pop on and off. And so by going with a 2-piece fold instead of a 1-piece fold, we were able to create a system, kind of a platform, where you have our premier single stroller that you can now expand into a tandem, a double stroller, and you can also have a tandem stroller that can split into 2 smaller components. And that was kind of like the big concept here. And I put it in the details, like in the written details of the post on Facebook, but the reason that's so important to us and to the ZOE customer is that now you have a double stroller, a tandem stroller, that can literally break into 2 pieces, go into 1 or 2 different backpacks. We're gonna have backpacks for all of them, which I'll go into in a few minutes, and can literally go on an airplane in the overhead bin on many, many airlines. So like this front piece, when it folds up, it's the same size. Actually, it's a little bit smaller than our XLC stroller. And then the XL1 fits on many airlines in the overhead compartment. So you literally have a double stroller that can do that. If we folded it all as 1 piece, there's no way that could happen. So that's why no other tandem strollers are fitting on airplanes anytime soon. Another ZOE-esque feature is that it weighs under 20 pounds, so it's 19 pounds. So this stroller is super duper lightweight. And that's definitely not synonymous with tandem strollers, okay? Another really, really cool feature, and let me make sure you guys can see it, is that it has 6 wheels. And so a lot of people, one of the first questions people are asking is, how does it turn? And it's the perfect question to ask, because typically tandem strollers are very, very hard to turn, especially longer ones. Now ours is not, even though it has all this stuff that makes it look a little bit longer, it's not really any longer than your typical tandem stroller, maybe compared to certain ones a little bit more or less, but it's pretty much a tandem stroller size. But the kicker is that it has these 6 wheels, which if you've ever pushed a grocery cart and you've gone to get like bottled water or a bunch of sodas or something like that, and you've accidentally put it into the front of the grocery cart, well, it's really, really hard to turn, right? Well, if those grocery carts had an extra set of wheels right in the middle, it starts to disperse that weight backwards. And in the engineering world, you know, basically more wheels strategically placed give you a better weight load balance and therefore make it easier to turn. There's not so much pressure on those front wheels when it's turning. So the quick and easy answer to how does it steer and how does it turn, super duper good, especially in the tandem stroller world. So that's something that was really, really, really important to us when we designed the stroller. So a lot of questions. Let me just go through a few questions, and it'll probably bring up pretty much everything everyone is asking. I have like a long list here, okay? So what is the weight of the tandem stroller? Just mentioned that, so it's 19 pounds together. The weight of the hook-on seat here is a little over 8 pounds. The weight of the stroller itself, the XL1 Best V2, is 11 pounds. So you're in the 19 point something range, okay? Under 20 pounds for the whole entire unit. That's with wheels and everything on. Let's see. Okay, so a lot of people are asking about the recline. And by the way, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm doing, you know, it'll be a pretty long Q&A here, and then we're gonna do a giveaway at the end of the Q&A. So you might wanna stay tuned for that. But I've got a little bit more time than usual, which means a lot of time. And so I'm gonna do a pretty detailed Q&A hopefully here. So a lot of people are asking about this right here. How much room is there for the kids sitting in the back? Let me make sure you guys can see good. Yeah. So the deal is, this is our prototype model, okay? So it doesn't recline all the way to where the one that will actually be in production will recline. This was like where it started, and we kept engineering it back as far as we could, and that basically tells you that we were thinking about this the entire time. So we wanted to make sure that, one, that we got as much recline in the front as possible, because a lot of strollers that they're not like this because it's always like a hook-on seat, right, that goes onto the original frame and puts all the pressure on the four wheels of the stroller. But a lot of strollers that have even an inkling of a similar concept always have like, it's a way smaller, additional seat. It can't take as much weight. It doesn't recline at all, or if it reclines, it's barely at all. So it's kind of like a total, complete afterthought. And we didn't want that to be the case with our hook-on seat, our tandem seat. So to answer a few questions about the hook-on seat itself, when it comes back all the way in production, it will come to this bar, okay? And what that means, if you can see it there, basically our original strollers, which 90% of people thought had a perfectly acceptable recline degree, and we're perfectly happy with it. Our kids could nap in those strollers. Most kids can nap in those strollers. It had like roughly 135 degree recline, okay? Our new strollers have about 165 degree recline. So you can see that here. And then the 135 on our old strollers, basically even with the frame, roughly, okay? So you can see this one is probably gonna go back, I don't know, maybe 145 degrees, something like that. So it's gonna, the front seat will go back slightly further and deeper than our original strollers did. So it's definitely not an afterthought. It's definitely an improved recline, even over our, like even the XL1 Deluxe that's currently for sale. So it has a better recline than those strollers. So by placing this here too, and I'll get into future expansion of the system, hopefully in a few minutes or later, but by placing the bar here, we have something for it to come down and rest on. It'll actually attach here, which is really, really important. It'll be an optional attachment right there for this seat. So it'll recline back and then attach there optionally. And that's a big deal just because I know my twins, or at least my kids, whoever's sitting back here is kicking that seat, okay? And no matter what stroller you have, when they kick that seat, it's gonna move, right? It's gonna be uncomfortable for the kid in front and everything like that. But to kind of like mitigate that a little bit, we wanted it to attach right here and be taut, if you wanted it to be, on that seat, to where even if kid behind the other kid is kicking, they're not getting very far. It's just more of like a bump rather than, a whole push or shift of the front seat. So that was kind of a fun, cool feature that we threw in there that will be on the production actual model. So getting back to the actual question, let me try to find something that's straight here. So here's like a double belly bar. I'm just gonna put it in here just to show you. So basically, if I get it back where that seat's gonna be, you hopefully, let me make sure you can see. Let's see, yeah. So basically, it's gonna be something like that angle, okay? Don't forget about this stuff. Maybe if I turn it around that way, I don't know. But it's gonna be something like that angle. And there's your leg room for the other child. It's basically, it's almost big enough for my calf to go in there, okay? It's gonna be plenty of room when this is fully reclined for your child to sit very comfortably back here and their feet to be on the footrest, not like in the basket or any of that stuff. We did reinforce this front basket here, and I won't go into detail, but we reinforced that knowing that, yeah, some kids are probably gonna like kick down in there or something. It just happens with all tandem strollers. There's all kinds of kicking and stepping and stuff like that. So we try to like think of these things as we design the product and just basically take those concerns out one by one. And obviously, there's things that will roll out that are backwards compatible and all that stuff as we launch the product and figure out different things about it. The fold, as I mentioned, is a two-piece fold. So literally, let me just make sure you guys can see. Back up just a little bit. So we take this off, you get it at the right angle, that pops off. This is gonna fold just like our other strollers. So literally there's a handle right here, and as you pull up on that, on the prototype, it'll be much easier on production, it folds up, okay? So you could technically remove those wheels. Obviously you probably wanna pop these off if you're gonna put it in a storage bag or anything. But pretty much that's the folded size of it. And it's super duper compact. It's only 8 point something pounds. It's smaller than our XLC. So one, we're gonna create a backpack. Let me grab one that's similar. So this is the XLC backpack here. We're gonna create a backpack. Basically it'll be a little bit smaller than this for this piece, okay? So you'll be able to take that off and put it in here or carry it and then put it on later, whatever you want to do there, and have it on your back really, really comfortably, okay? So you're looking at something like, let me angle the camera up a little bit. So this is me with my tandem stroller, okay? Optional tandem stroller. XL1 Best V2, the hook on, it's actually gonna be smaller and lighter than what's on my back right now. And then if I wanted to, I could put that on. So whatever use that is for you guys, I know personally, having 4 kids, there's tons of times where I wish I had this. Right now, in the past, in the future, all of that, okay? So then, we're also, you know, this is the XL1 Best V2. You guys have seen this thing fold. And it's pretty incredible, you know? It just folds like that. It's only 11 pounds. This will have a backpack as well. So if you wanted to, you could fold the 2 pieces separately and put them in 2 different backpacks, okay? And so when we say like, it's going in the overhead of an airplane, that's putting this and this in the overhead, okay? And there's many, many airlines and airplanes that both of these pieces will fit in, and you know, some airlines will let you carry them both on, some are gonna make, you know, you and your husband or wife or whoever carry on different pieces, whatever it may be. This will fit in overheads of airplanes. Technically, almost all of them, and then some airlines just have certain restrictions. So also what's important is that now you have a tandem stroller and 2 pieces that all of a sudden acts, if you want it to, just like a side-by-side double. So now we're talking about fitting in the back of a Mini Cooper, and you know, right behind the 3rd row of those like small to mid-size SUVs, all kinds of different places. That tiny little closet or nook that you have in your, you know, New York studio or whatever, right? So all of a sudden you have a tandem stroller that breaks into 2 components, which you can store separately, together, in any different way. So then, lastly, we're gonna come out with the XL1 Tandem backpack, which will pretty much be similar in size, if you guys know what it is, as our XLT stroller, which was discontinued a while ago, but it was one of our, you know, like mid-size strollers or whatever. But basically, you'll have these 2 pieces that you can fold together, and there's a much more optimal way to do that. But you'll be able to fold them, stack them, and put both of those into a backpack. And actually, it's funny because that kind of shows you the cube of a typical tandem stroller. It would actually be a really compact tandem stroller fold right there. So by breaking them into 2 pieces, you get an option. But we will have a backpack that will fit not only just these 2 components, but it'll fit those 2 components in a backpack, right? So you'll have a backpack with possible 2 backpacks, other backpacks in it of the 2 components, or just the 2 components themselves, or you can do just a backpack here, backpack there, however you want to do it, okay? It's going to be very, very open in terms of like options of what you want to do. So I'll show you here the tandem seat itself hooks and locks just like our strollers, just a little bit different of a placement. So you literally just do that there, and then if I had the stroller unfolded, let's see if it will stay there, then so there's the XL1 unfolded. You would just basically hook it right at the bottom, hooks, dude, done. There we go. And it's your tandem stroller. In terms of weight capacity, that's another big question that we're getting. You're looking at the same exact weight capacity as our strollers, like our regular stroller seats. So we try to test them all to the same capacity and everything. So actually I have, just for demonstration purposes, what is this? So one of these is a 35-pound dumbbell and one's a 30. I'll put the heavier one up front, okay? Most people would probably do the opposite. Make sure they're stable here. One flops out, I'll throw it back in for you. So I'll leave these open just so you guys can see they're in there. And this stroller, oh, I even had the brake on, it was steering fine. So, I mean, it's steering just fine. One hand, hopefully you guys can see that, I'll make sure. Yeah, here we go. So here's one hand with, what is that, 65 pounds total. And I mean, it's a tandem stroller, right? And it's got like a lot of weight in it. So it's not like it's gonna be like, you know, you barely touch it and it moves. I mean, I can literally move it with my fingers. Like look, slowly turning it with 2 fingers, okay? And I've got the weight technically loaded in the front. To answer the technical detail of the weight limit itself, all of our strollers are rated and then internally tested. So we have them rated to 18 kilograms. It's like a certification test type thing that we go through. And then we internally test all of our seats to 50 pounds. So like I've said on other videos, we've thought about going back and obviously unifying those two and just getting them actually certified to those weights. It's more of just like a technical, like basically not having to say 2 different things, but maybe even going up, because I know that I've personally tested them way higher than that, but that's what we internally test them. We have a big track at our factory, and it looks like a track at a middle school or a high school or something, but it's got all these bumps and different terrain and all that stuff that we basically test these things on. So let me put you back down at the wheels here. And you can just see, basically, typically you have all 65 pounds or 100 pounds, whatever you have in the stroller, it's all going to be loaded up there and there. And that's why, I mean, honestly, that's why tandem strollers weigh, 50 pounds and stuff, is because they have to have these huge wheels, these huge frames, all this stuff to hold all that weight across that long span. And basically we bridged it with the wheels in the middle, giving it all kinds of disbursement towards the middle rather than just on the front and back. And even if I take this out, it's funny because sometimes those wheels really won't even take on that much of a load. But I mean, now all the weight is in the front, and I mean, my floor is actually pretty slippery, so it'll slide around if I let it. But there's really no issues at all with steering this. Just like with all tandem strollers, it just takes a second to kind of like wait for that weight to come around a little bit. But it's no issue, man, at all. I've tested this with my kids, heavy, all that stuff. Sorry, I was just looking at a comment, and I mean, it's no problem at all. I'm gonna get my twins, my 4-year-old, like I'll do all kinds of like kid shots, because I know a lot of you guys are asking for that specifically. So I'll definitely get some like in-usage videos and pictures and all that stuff soon. Let me look at a few questions here on this list just to see if I've covered most of it. Let's see, so, oh yeah, so would you be able to attach, okay, so I'm gonna like spit out a few things that people have asked with possibilities, okay? So would you be able to attach a 3rd seat, a 4th seat? Can you attach infant car seats? Can you make, this is the biggest one, can you make the hook-on attachment another stroller? That's a big question, okay? So here's the deal. You'll hate me for it, but I can't talk about any of that stuff in detail, okay? This is like all kinds of weird law certification, JPMA testing. There's all kinds of things going on with this product because it's kind of like in its own category in a way. So I can't go into detail on much of that. One thing I will say is that we don't do infant car seats. So if that's a must, I'm sorry, we do not focus on infant car seats. It would change our entire company if we did that. And maybe one day we will, but for now we just don't do it. We're laser focused on children 6 months and up with on-the-go parents that sit directly in the seat. Laser focused on that. Maybe one day we change that. But for now, I can't even go into all the details. It would bore you to tears, but it would make our prices go up. It would just change everything. We'd have to redesign and make our strollers heavier and all kinds of stuff. So, if that's the case, try to make do until your kids are 6 months, or, if you have to, then get one that's compatible with an infant car seat. But basically, talking about the expansion, yes, like pretty much everything except for the car seat question, I will just say we have about a dozen ideas of things we can do on this new patent pending platform to make your life easier and just make incredibly cool products. So like a simple question I can talk about is someone said, and actually it's kind of entertaining because it's one person that's always like just pinpointing like little things, so it's an interesting comment, okay? But sometimes, by the way, we have software on Facebook that weeds out certain comments because we literally have tracked down competitors on our Facebook page going, hey, well, your stroller doesn't do that. And we're like, actually it does. But anyways, so certain comments get deleted that shouldn't, and then most of them that get deleted should. And they're from people that shouldn't be on our Facebook page. But they asked, so when you attach the hook-on seat, you lose the cup holders for the back stroller. Yeah, currently that is the case. But guess what? We've already started to think of different attachments that can go on here, and that's kind of why this belly bar is here for another reason besides attaching the seat, that can come back and be backwards compatible, so you can apply it to the strollers you've already purchased and give that ability back, maybe even in a better way, which you guys have all asked for anyway. So we're definitely going down that route, and if you notice, this is very similar to our regular belly bar, so maybe something could be applied to both places, okay? So we've thought of a lot of these things that people will bring up, and it's totally cool. I mean, no product's gonna be perfect, we know that, but we think this is pretty darn cool, and we think it can be very, very beneficial and useful to so many people. So I'm not going to go beyond that in terms of future ability. I mean, we all know that, like, what that looks like, okay? We all know that. I can't talk about that, though. So, there's lots of things that are possible and capable and fun to think of, and some we'll probably do, some we probably won't. But the next 6 to 18 months should be a really fun time here at ZOE in that regard. Okay, we're into making really cool products that are really different, out of the box, but most importantly, really, really, really beneficial for you guys as parents, because that's who we are. We get it. Okay, we're not old executives sitting in an office going, what will sell at the big box store? We're going, what can we get on live Facebook with 300 people tuned in and be proud to show, and those people be really excited to get their hands on it. That's what we're trying to design. Okay, so price point, I just saw that come through. So the whole system, we wanted to basically just, this is going back to, actually, I'll bring out the XL2, because this is going back to a similar situation with the XL1 and the XLC that a lot of people have been like, which one should I get? Because they're both awesome, they're both the same price, the same weight, roughly, all that kind of stuff. And so now we're getting a very similar question about which one of these should you get? And so what we wanted to do, again, was just like with the XLC and XL1, we wanted to price these two the exact same because this is a lifestyle choice and a preference, not which one is better than the other. If it was up to me, and I think over time this will come true, we will develop a stroller line that you could pretty much own 100% of the stroller line, and the products really wouldn't conflict. So everything from, you know, a jogging stroller one day maybe to, you know, an infant car seat carrier one day or something, you know, like a frame, like one of those frames. I mean, we have all kinds of cool ideas that we'll eventually come out with, I'm sure, but this is not like, is the XL2 better than the XL1 Tandem or vice versa? It's more like, which one do you need? So, I mean, you can't narrow it down to like, if I have twins, I should get the side-by-side. Well, you could do that here too, but the younger they are, probably the more likely you would want to get an XL2 because the seats both recline a little bit lower, okay? Or if your kids, you know, need as deep of a recline as possible to nap, well, maybe that 10 degrees or 15 degrees in the front seat might make a difference. I don't know. Some people literally just prefer a tandem stroller to a side-by-side and vice versa. So you do pick up about what, 2.5-ish pounds with, you lose that with going to the XL2. You do get the bigger wheels on the XL2 Best V2. So these, the Tandem has our new wheels that have been completely re-engineered, and they're phenomenal wheels. It's, you know, there's no doubt about that, and they're gonna perform like crazy for you guys. You basically have one cool thing. Let me make sure you guys can still see. Sometimes I'll ramble and you can't see anything. Let me get you a little closer here. One cool thing I love about this system too is, check this out. You have a suspension there, so it's kind of hard to flex at the angle on that, but you'll have a suspension there and a suspension up front here. And these suspensions, like I've mentioned in the past, you're gonna find similar suspensions on like $600 to $900 strollers, not $100 to $200 strollers, okay? And then you have like a natural frame flex back here that's built in to help absorb as well as you push. So that's one cool thing that you get, is that kind of like extra suspension. The XL2, you know, has a really, really phenomenal suspension too in the front though. So you can see those wheels hopefully bouncing up and down. So really it's more of like a lifestyle choice. Like, one, do you only have one kid and maybe one day you're gonna have a second? Well, choose the XL1. Add a tandem seat on later, okay? Two, are you the super duper ultimate traveling family? You have 2 kids and you want to try to put your double stroller in the overhead compartment, the Tandem. So it's more of like the lifestyle choice, and I keep going back to that same thing with the XL1 and the XLC. So those 2 strollers, it's the same thing, you know. I'll pull them out back here, but are you the ultimate traveler? XLC. Do you need something for popping in and out every day, running errands, school, church, whatever it may be? XL1. Both can be used every day. Both can be used to travel with. They're both phenomenal travel strollers. Both fit in many overhead compartments, with the XLC fitting in more. So it's really up to you. What's your lifestyle? That's what you should choose. So let's see here. Yeah, getting a lot of questions about Disney. I mean, look, I can't tell you how many strollers we ship to Disney resorts, okay? Because you can't rent our strollers. The only ones you can typically rent are like really cheap ones or really heavy ones. So we're shipping tons of strollers to Disney resorts, people just buying them and having them sent there and then using them at Disney. Something I really never talk about, but probably should. So it's a huge opportunity for you guys. If you ever go to Disney and want to use one of our strollers but don't necessarily want to travel with it, then there you go. You can always bring it back home afterwards. We've even had customers just donate it afterwards, which is kind of crazy, but some people got it like that, right? So just talking about Disney and which one might be easier or better, it totally depends, you know? I mean, a lot of people would stray away from a two-piece fold at Disney because you're like, you know, everybody's hectic, you're trying to rush onto the buses and fit on there and all that stuff. But I mean, it literally, if your kids are out and you do that and you fold, I mean, that's quicker than most one-piece folds out there. The XL2, all you do is pull up on the two straps and it folds. So that's really, I mean, it's more of a preference again, you know? Crowd-wise, I don't know. Sometimes it's easier to plow through the crowds with the double side-by-side, but this is gonna fit, you know, probably through a few more spots than that one. This fits through standard doorways, so you're not gonna have a problem in that sense. But again, it's more of like a lifestyle choice. I just like the whole idea really, and why I love this product as a dad of 4 kids. And we travel, you know, a decent amount, not like every day or every week or anything, but we travel a decent amount. The reason I love the Tandem is that it's just an option, you know? And that's kind of the key to the product, and it's not an afterthought option. It's not a cheap option. It's not just like some of those horrible options you have out there, or the really super duper heavy options. It's still a ZOE stroller, and it's an optional double stroller. Or it's a double stroller that's optionally a single stroller. Either way you look at it. So, which actually that's kind of more the basis of the product. So that's kind of like the differences between those two and what you need to think about when you start choosing. Almost the same weight, same capacity. You know, it's gonna probably maneuver pretty much the same. Maybe the XL2, the side-by-side is gonna maneuver just a touch better, just because by nature, side-by-sides maneuver a little bit better than tandems. But in the tandem world, it's gonna maneuver phenomenally because of the 6 wheels. So let's see, I'm gonna go through a couple more questions. Height limit, we don't have height limits. So what we do is we offer up all kinds of measurements. One of the measurements we offer, actually 2 of the measurements will be, let me make sure you guys can see. Yep, it'll be from the seat base to the top of the back of the seat, and then it'll be seat base to the top of the canopy. And so what we say is for height limit, I mean, obviously you got to take into the weight limit into, you know, account, right? But for the height limit, we say measure your children from waist to the top of their head or to the top of their shoulders, however you want to do it, and marry them up to those dimensions that we offer in our specs section on pretty much every stroller at the bottom of the page. And that will kind of tell you height-wise if your child's going to be comfortable or not. I won't share my personal ages of my children that I put in here comfortably, but you know, like even if they're like hanging over, if they're within the weight limit and they're a little bit tall, I mean, our seat backs are really tall for our category, the lightweight stroller category, with doubles, singles, everything. But even if they're a little bit taller, that doesn't mean they're going to be uncomfortable. I mean, it's perfectly, actually, as they get older, in my opinion, from my experience, they really just don't care at all. They're happy to not be walking sometimes. All right, let me look at a few more comments here. Let's see. You guys feel free to ask some in the comments below too. I'm just reading. I keep running into ones that I've already answered, so I'm just scrolling through here. Yep, no infant carriers or car seats. How does it turn? Did that. Can this be transformed into 3 strollers? Covered that. Yeah, and I'll go into detail on the price really quick because I think I kind of skipped over that in the last rant. So both strollers, both of our double strollers will be $299.99 on our website. The way you'll actually purchase, and this may change by launch date, but most likely, because honestly, we have literally thousands and thousands of people on these email lists for the pre-order notifications. And we know 100% of those people are not going to buy. You know, some people just sign up and they're like, oh, I don't know. But a good majority of them do buy, and basically what that means is that we're not going to have enough strollers for all the people on these lists, which it's like the most flattering, awesome, you know, just kind of jaw-dropping problem for us to have. You know, not even 2 years after we started this company, but you know, we brought in a ton of strollers, thousands of strollers on these first shipments, and I don't think we're going to have enough, to be honest with you. So what we're going to have to do at first, at least, is sell this as two different components. So you'll be able to buy the stroller, and then you'll be able to buy the tandem hook-on seat. They'll have two different ship dates. So this is behind, the tandem seat is behind the stroller, maybe by 30 to 40 days, something like that. As we get closer, we'll have more definite dates. The stroller on the website will be $179.99, which is already listed, and then the hook-on seat will be $149.99. But when you buy them both together, we will give you a $20 discount, right? So that adds up to $299.99, or whatever it does. Yeah, that adds up to $299.99. Quick live math there. So basically, it will add up to $299.99. And you know, if you come back to buy the hook-on seat later in a separate purchase, it'll be $149.99. And most likely, really, we want to do like a bundle, obviously, and sell it together. But we'll also most likely be able to band the two boxes together. And whenever we can save on shipping, we try to pass it on to you guys. So that's why you'll see the $5 discount for accessories that you add to your stroller order, because we can throw those in the box and save the USPS shipping on them, or whatever, however we're going to ship it, and then we just pass that savings on to you guys, just to be able to bundle up everything into one purchase. And that's also why we can't offer that discount once the stroller's shipped, because we can't chase down the box and throw it in there. So pricing wise, long story long, $299.99, which in our opinion, for what you're getting there, is a phenomenal deal. As I've mentioned a zillion times in the past, we do not sell to big box stores. We don't even sell to small mom and pop retail stores, because when we do that, we have to mark our products up. And so if this was sold based on our cost and all of the really high-end fabrics and like super high-grade aluminum we've used here to make it super lightweight but durable, the wheel setup, all this stuff, no joke, this stroller would be probably between $500 and $700. But we only sell directly to you guys, mostly off of our website. Again, that's why our prices are higher on Amazon, because there's fees there. It's like a mini markup from a retail store, basically, the way they charge. So the prices are higher there. And so when we sell directly off our website, there's barely any fees. We're able to crunch down the price for you guys and sell direct. So not many stroller companies are doing that, and there's lots of good reasons, but that was kind of the concept of ZOE from the beginning. And now we have, you know, a stroller line that should be $200 higher probably on average per product, and they're at super duper value prices, affordable prices for most people. And you know, we're really, really proud of the value we offer in each product. All right, let me look through a few more here. Let's see. Yep, finally a tandem that's not heavy. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, the front seat looks a little bit smaller. So yeah, it's stadium seating, and the front seat, one of the easiest ways to tell that it's a little bit smaller is by the leg rest size. So you guys will probably be able to see, like, look at the width or height of that, and then look here. So it's just a little bit like shorter, but size-wise, otherwise, it's pretty much the same. So we'll get detailed measurements and everything, but we just had to squat it down a little bit, because the whole idea is to have stadium seating to where this child, when they're back here, can still see out some. So that was another question actually. Can the kid in the back see? Let me make sure you guys got a good angle on this. Yeah, so that's why you come up with stadium seating. So if this canopy is up, down, however it is, this child, whose head's going to be something like right here, can still see. I'll put you like this actually, be easier. Here, I'm going to put you where their head would be. Try to. So it's going to be something like that. So they're looking out that way. There, I don't want to show you my whole messy office. But yeah, so it's going to be plenty of line of sight for the kids sitting in the back. No problem. Tandem strollers, you know, traditionally the kids got a blocked view to a certain extent, but ours is going to be pretty open comparatively speaking. Get you back on the stroller here. Let's see. Weight limit, I just saw that come across. Already covered that. It's going to be the same as our other strollers. Let me just go through a few more. I'll keep saying that for like another hour. Also, if you just joined us, we're going to do a giveaway at the end of this live feed. So stay tuned for that, or check back later if you want to. Let's see. Oh, these are comments that just came in anyways. Got my iPad over here. I'm just like scrolling through all the comments. Yeah, wondering about maneuverability and wiggly kids. Yep, we've got wiggly kids that we've tested in this thing. Definitely have wiggly kids, and it maneuvers so good with our wiggly kids. Let's see, distance of leg room for the back of the seat. I covered that. Plenty of leg room for kid in the back. Does the front attachment fold independently? Yes. Does it fit in the main stroller's basket? No. But it would probably fit in the XL2 basket. We did a XLC inside the XL2 basket video not long ago, kind of as a joke. Someone asked it, so we tried it. It worked. Let's see. Yeah, so only the XL1 is able to be a tandem base, not the XLC. Right. Yeah, so the XLC is not really set up to do that. It actually has a very, very similar footrest, and that's kind of like, people have asked, can the old XL1, which I'll bring on screen, fit the tandem attachment? Answer is no. Can the XLC fit it? Answer is no. The XLC, it's more of like an angle thing. Obviously like a width thing, because it's designed literally to fit onto the XL1 Best V2. But let me show you here. Yeah, so you can see the different footrest, okay? So let me pull the tandem attachment off. So anybody who hadn't seen that already, that's how you do that. So you can see this footrest is just a little bit wider, and actually these hooks hook into the outside of the footrest and snap securely. So there's not quite enough room on the XLC, and then the XL1 Deluxe, the older XL1, just doesn't even have anywhere close to that footrest to be able to do it. So it is designed for the XL1 Best V2 exclusively. So that actually, it's kind of a good reason why I wanted to get this out and kind of do this video. I'm going to just get it at a side angle so you guys can see it go on. So snap, lift, snap. I was doing that upside down, so from here, much easier. Snap, okay? What was I gonna say? Oh man. Oh, yeah, it was one of the reasons I wanted to get this out and launch it now. The temptation was to wait a little bit because it's a little bit further off than the single strollers in terms of shipping dates, but I wanted to get it out there because I believe that it will probably change some of your decisions on XLC versus XL1, maybe. But it actually, in my opinion, it'll probably align your decisions more properly with that whole lifestyle thing I've been talking about. So XLC it's the coolest stroller ever. It's the best travel stroller out there by far, especially when it comes to price. The only one or two that I think even come close to it in terms of its abilities are outrageously priced in my opinion. So and offer nothing. Actually, they offer nothing more. Don't offer as much. They just offer like maybe one thing that it doesn't have, which infant car seat compatibility. But it's not our target market, as we've mentioned before. So anyways, I think that the hook-on may kind of properly align certain customers' choice between the XLC and XL1, knowing that you can expand the XL1 now into a double stroller. So that was really, really important to get out to you guys ahead of time before you went and bought the XLC or the XL1, whatever you're gonna buy, not knowing that possibility. So we worked really hard, lawyers, all that stuff, just kind of speed. Patents are not something, or patent applications, I should say, are not something you can really speed through, so as you can imagine. All right, let's look. Let me just see if I can think of anything else. You guys blow me up with questions because I'm going to move on to the XL1 Best V2 versus the XL1 Deluxe in a second, and I'll try to make that quick. But that's a question we're getting a lot, and I want to be able to show that to certain people. I'm just digging through some comments while you guys hopefully ask a few questions as well. Yeah, dream come true for your family. Love that comment. You're the ZOE customer if you're thinking that. And we're okay with not everyone is that customer, but when I see this, I go, that's a dream come true. Not for every single possible use, right? Not when I'm jogging or something, but I don't really jog, but if I was to jog. Okay, I'm gonna do, actually let me look at a few, make sure there's no questions here that I haven't answered. Glider board, yep, we're gonna make a glider board. We've got that in design. I'm just scrolling through your comments right now. Folded measurements will be posted. We wait to post all that stuff, quite frankly. Every single time we post dimensions, there's ways we've like tracked down people. We get knocked off, okay? Even our, I won't name names, but literally like right after we launched our backpack for our XL1, all of a sudden there's a stroller company with a backpack out there, which is super duper flattering, and maybe I'm wrong, right? But it was quite the coincidence. So not long after. So we hold back certain details until kind of until the end, like right before we launch pre-ordering, just because we don't want to share certain stuff and hopefully slow down anyone who's going to try to knock us off, is the honest answer there. So let's see, jogging stroller next. Yeah, maybe it's on the design board, maybe one day. You compare the old strollers to the new XLC. Okay, I'll include the XLC in the old to new stroller comparison. Can we see it with kids in it? Yes, you will see it with kids in it. I promise that. You just gotta give me some time to get my kids in it. And let's see. Well, I'll make sure to. I couldn't not. Like, we just went to the beach twice, okay, and I wanted to bring this stroller, or at least the hook-on attachment, because we had the XL1, and I was legally not allowed to show it in public. So, we're releasing this literally almost to the day that we were legally allowed to show it, according to the whole patent pending thing and everything. Let's see, I want a ZOE stroller. Okay, we want to give you a ZOE stroller. Let's see, love the black. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Yeah, you would love to see curbs with this guy. Okay. Well, I don't have curbs in here, but what I can show, and again, this is a prototype, so it's not made of the same durability, in terms of durability, the same material as our production units. So nothing's gonna happen to it most likely. If it does, it'd be a little embarrassing, but it's literally a prototype. It's not made of the real materials, but there you go. You know, there's the attachment. And actually my father-in-law would probably come knock me over if he saw me doing this, because his prototypes were very, very expensive. But I mean, I can load up, I have, okay, loaded up weight just in the front and done that really, really hard, no issues, even with the prototype, okay? So to go over a curb, no problem. Also with the XL1, one thing you have is direct axle access. Hopefully you guys can see down there. So to pop it up on a curb, here we go. So you come up on a curb, boom, boom, up on the curb, okay? And then I see so many people going off curbs with their kids like this. And in my opinion, it's a really dangerous way to go off curbs. I always spin around and back off of curbs and then let it fall in the front, hopefully softly, and then spin it around. And actually it's funny because this floor is really slippery, right? And there's zero weight in the stroller and it weighs pretty much nothing compared to most tandem strollers. So you'll see those wheels like skipping around a little bit, and it's actually perfect proof of the weight disbursement, because if those wheels weren't there, then all the weight would be on the front one. So at different times there's weight getting dispersed all over this design. And when there's no weight in it, it's like there's almost no weight on each wheel if you think about it, how it's all dispersed all over those 6 wheels, which is really, really cool. But I will say curbs are no issue. If you're using within limits, then, I mean, literally you're just like with any other tandem stroller, you come up to the curb, you pop it up, go up on the curb, lift the back, you're on the curb. Do the reverse, going down. It's the safest way. Yeah, this thing will eat up some curbs, hopefully. So you love the Aqua? Yes, we love Aqua. Aqua has become our most popular, and I think my middle daughter, Eloise, is offended by this. But Aqua has become our most popular color past our neutrals. So like you've got black, navy, and Noah gray, which are at one point or another on all of our models. Those are the 3 most popular. And then it goes boom, Aqua right after that. And it's kind of been a surprise to us because we love Aqua. It's a beautiful color. It's really, really hard to picture Aqua. So like I'll pull it on screen, and depending on your screen, it might look a little bit different. But I have iPhones, okay? I guess any other Retina display, it's probably gonna display it pretty much the same, but I'll make sure the color looks pretty accurate. Let me click it, because sometimes it's a little off. Yeah, like even right now, it's got like a slighter green tone to it in person than the bluish tone. I'm trying to like darken it up a little bit, but it's really, really hard to picture Aqua or take pictures and videos of Aqua. Outside it does the best. So there's a few videos and pictures of it outside that we used it on our trip, like on our last trip, that probably show it the best, but in here it's really hard to picture it. But it's got like a slightly, almost like a sea green tone to it past the just straight blue that you probably see right now. So kind of imagine that. It's a really, really pretty color in person. So anyways, it has trumped little Eloise as the most popular color beyond our basic neutral colors. So luckily she's not old enough to really realize that right now. So my oldest though, London, that's who London Navy is named after, does realize that she is one of the most popular. So, and Noah, my nephew, he probably doesn't know much about it, but he's up there. So, okay, let's see. You guys are changing the stroller world. Sonny, that's awesome, man. That's so awesome for you to say. And I think I've said that like twice in my life and probably both on film here, but you know, we're not the type of people who will say that kind of stuff about ourselves. We're pretty humble people, but you know, with you saying it, I agree, and I really, really appreciate it. The thing is we can change the stroller world with our designs and our abilities as ZOE, but you guys will change the stroller world in terms of actually purchasing the products and enabling us financially to go out and start designing even better products and more innovative features. So like I said, we're trying to make your life easier with real designs that actually make sense, and we can only do that with your help. So by just getting the word out there, I'm getting the XLC, all the single strollers out real quick. Actually, I'll try to get, where's my Aqua XLC? I'm gonna try to get them all in the same color really quick. I don't have Aqua XLC. It's gone missing. Red, do I have all three in red? No. I only have that in gray. You guys are probably screaming that at me right now. Okay, we're gonna do it in gray. Duh. Okay. Got gray, and I got gray over there. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna line up our single strollers really quick. I'm gonna let you guys look at these for like 1 second while I grab a water or a Mountain Dew, maybe both. Let me unbreak them all. This is when I usually look up at the camera and you guys are like looking at the ground, not me. I'll be right back. Take those in for just a second. That's the, I'll put my finger out here because sometimes it's the opposite with the camera. XL1 Best V2, our newest XL1 model. XL1 Deluxe, our most recent older single model that will eventually go away, and it'll just be the two outer ones here. And the XLC Best V2, which is our super duper compact travel model. So I will be right back, and then we'll go through those and maybe do the giveaway right after that. Actually, we will, because my camera or phone's about to start dying. Okay, so let's go top to bottom. First, I'm going to do these two strollers because that's really been the question, and then I'll try to throw this in and go top to bottom to explain the difference, okay? So as you can see, the canopy is exactly the same for the new and the old. This is the Deluxe, the XL1 Deluxe, XL1 Best V2, okay? So canopy is 4 panels. One is a little bit more seamed than the other. That's the only reason you're seeing wrinkles here, which are natural. Here it is from the side, okay? So exact same canopy. Both have the magnetic peekaboo window at the top. Both handle materials are the same. So literally like from here, it's the same. But coming back here, you're gonna notice a big difference, and that's gonna be the recline and the length of the canopy back here, okay? So they both have these roll-up features, so you can unzip, roll up, and clip there, okay? Both of them have that, so that comes off as well. But you have more of a recline with the XL1 Best V2. So that's probably one of the biggest feature differences there is the actual recline, okay? So you get about 30 degrees more, something like that. Let me make sure the coloring's a little bit better here. With the XL1 Best V2, okay? Handlebar heights, pretty much the same. Coming over on the side of the frame, with the XL1 Deluxe, the newest ones that are shipping now, like kind of our final ones that are shipping, will most likely, not guaranteed, but most likely have one set of loops, okay? So show the weight of it. It's kind of a cool way to show the weight. But it'll have these loop attachments on one side. That means you can hook up one carry strap to the side of it, okay? And carry it on your shoulder. The XL1 Best V2 will have them here, and so we recessed them a little bit. So when you get your XL1 Best V2, it's there, it's just under it, so it's not hanging out. Looks a little bit better. But it'll have it on one side and the other side. That means when it's folded, you can put one carry strap on, no problem, or you can do two, so you'll have it as a backpack, okay? They fold exactly the same. I will say that especially depending on, so there's the XL1 Best V2 folded, and then depending on how you fold this one with the pad, and by the way, as they break in, you don't even have to like give it that final bump that I always do. It's just because we use really high-end fabric, and at first it just needs to break in a little bit, and then all of a sudden, boom, it'll close without doing that. So don't think that you always have to do that. Usually you just pull up and it closes. But depending on the pad placement and everything, which is something, you know, some people, we have like really detailed instructions on how to install that, the extra seat pad, which we'll talk about in a second. But you know, depending on how that's put into the stroller, it can possibly slow down the fold just a little bit compared to this one, but it's still a super duper easy fold. So to unfold, exactly the same. There, here. Weight-wise, you've got 10 pounds, 11 pounds, as stated, but it's not even a pound difference. So it's just that one went into the 11-pound range, one stayed within 10 pounds. So it's basically the same weight for the most part. Going into the seat itself, you've got, okay, so there's one difference. Someone asked this, and I couldn't remember which mechanism we had on the XL1 Deluxe, so here's your answer. If you notice, I literally just pulled out and up to incline the seat there, which is a really, really great feature, in my opinion. Here, yeah, it doesn't do it. So it's a little bit different of a mechanism if you look at it here. So it's like kind of bigger in the way it works. It wants to do it, but it's not doing it, so you just do that. I mean, it's no big deal, but this is nice to have that one. I actually used it a lot on our last trip. Both recline in the same way, just deeper with the XL1 Best V2. Oh yeah, so I'm going to incline them, and you will see that make sure you guys are still there and looking. Okay. You'll see that the XL1 Deluxe comes with a black seat. It's fully padded. It's very comfortable without the seat pad, no problem. And then you get a deluxe seat pad on top of that with the little side wings here, okay? So what we did with the XL1 Best V2, and then you'll see like down at the bottom here, it turns black with the gray ZOE logo, right? So this is basically an extra piece on top of the seat with the Deluxe. What we did with the XL1 Best V2 was we basically integrated that pad into here, okay? So there's like a touch more padding than the base seat there. The seat back height, you'll see, is the same, but it's colored. So it's more apparent, obviously, when you look at, say, Aqua, whereas the Aqua Deluxe would be a black seat with an Aqua pad and the Aqua canopy and the Aqua strap covers, okay? But with gray, going back to gray, it's basically color blocked, okay? And the seat pad itself conceptually is integrated into the stroller now, so it's not a separate piece. You can still buy deluxe seat pads to put in these. It's totally not needed, so most companies are going to try to get more money from you. You can do it, and I mean, it's going to be like super duper comfortable for your kids, but it's totally not needed. There's tons of padding in these ribs here, and we also design our strollers where there's no like crazy crossbones and stuff, or crossbars, and so there's no like uncomfortable spots. They're all like flat and comfortable and padded. So that's one huge difference. And this has like one of our charity strap cover colors that we're probably about to sell out of soon on there, but normally it would come with the gray ones, okay? I just have this switched out for some reason, probably taking a picture or something. Let's see, both of them come with the belly bar. Yeah, I don't have any of this stuff on either, but both of them will come with a child cup holder there, child snack cup there, and parent cup holder, and then also a belly bar, which soon you'll be able to put a fabric wrap on as well as an add-on accessory. So all this stuff attaches very easily to the same receptacles, okay? Minus the parent cup holder. So there, and then the belly bar can swing up either way to let your child in and out. If you wanted to do that, you can lift them. You know, sometimes my kids will, when we're stopped and brakes are on, you know, and everything, they'll just kind of like slide out once they're unharnessed or unfastened. Parent cup holder, both come with that, so that slides on there. And all this stuff, like I said, is interchangeable, so you can just switch all this stuff around. There, you know, I could switch sides over there if I wanted to. However you want to configure it. That's the same thing with our double stroller. So I'm just going to take these off just to keep the playing field as equal as possible here. So then, let's see, moving down, you see the difference with the coloring here. That shows the color blocking difference and the padding difference. Same exact harness, same exact buckle, same exact strap option or height options with the actual straps. One thing you want to make sure you do if you have this, the deluxe, and you have the pad or you add the pad to this one, make sure that whatever height option you have back here, there's 1, 2, 3, that you match that up with here, and that you pull the buckle all the way through. So anybody who's having a pad sliding issue, most likely those are mismatched, and or this isn't pulled all the way through. We've even had some people who will pull the crotch strap through the fold hole, so it pushes the seat pad forward a little bit. So that's a video I'm going to do soon, just in detail, to show you guys that, but it's part of our instructional video. Then you go down to the footrest, and I'm surprised so many of you are still on here. I feel like I'm boring you guys to tears, but I'm just trying to answer all these questions that people have and just get the info to you guys somehow, some way. So the footrest has been redesigned. Now you guys know the main reason why we did that, okay, to accommodate the tandem. But also it's kind of like lower, which accommodates a taller child with longer legs, and it's a little bit wider as well, which is nice. So then you go all the way down to the wheels, there's a huge difference. So you've got two kind of like, these are our improved mid-size wheels there. Our first models came with thinner wheels, but you can see the difference, hopefully, yeah, in the size and thickness of the new wheels on the XL1 Best V2. And then suspension-wise, you've got a suspension in there. It's great, honestly. It works really, really well, but this one works even better. I mean, look at the movement on these wheels. Let me push this thing out of the way. That's sick, you know? So I did a post when we were at the beach, at our beach house, what was it, last week or so, and the walk to get breakfast, like, I won't go over the details, but it goes over like gravel with like rocks sticking out of it. you know, speed bumps that are not smooth, a little bit of like really light sand, like golf course style grass, cobblestone. And it was like the perfect test. It was this stroller right here, literally. And man, that suspension was just going, just taking it so well. And I was so excited because my child that was sitting, Eloise, who was sitting in the seat, wasn't even like phased, wasn't even moving. And I was just so excited to see that. So this suspension's really out of this world for a small, lightweight stroller. Then turning around to the back, the basket is pretty much the same, like regarding size and everything, but what we wanted to do was make it more accessible. So we want to make sure we never design a basket that can accommodate a bunch of stuff, but you can't actually get the stuff in, right? So we started by making sure, like when you recline the seat, that it's not blocking, this is on the XL1 Deluxe, okay, the older model, that it's not blocking the entry to the actual basket. And then we have, you know, the side entry here. We also have an entry right there. But we kind of took it a step further with the XL1 Best V2 basket by making the back entry completely elastic, okay? And that required also more support here in the form of like a Velcro kind of like reinforcement on the bottom there, because this would obviously slouch if not done properly. It's just the nature of elastic. And it required also, you'll notice, more reinforcement. So there's the snap there, snap here, the actual like clip that holds it on, but there's also a snap there on each side now as well. So there's like so much more reinforcement in regarding like weight capacity and everything, which is not something we technically test. You can see pictures of people with tons of stuff stuffed into our baskets though. But there's just more reinforcement and better ability to actually utilize the full basket, which comparatively speaking is very, very large. The brake is still the same. So it's gonna be 1, 2, and the reason, mostly the reason why we stick with a 2-pedal brake on our XL1s is because of the improved kick space you get. So we have the recessed axles and then the perfect, in our opinion, the perfect angle of a handle. So therefore, we don't need, let me pull you up a little bit. We don't need to have an adjustable handle, which would add 1 to 2 pounds to the stroller, believe it or not. We don't need that because of the right angle that we come out with our handles. And then we recess the axle and don't have these crazy like brake contraptions. Actually, our XLC has a one-touch brake, but it's not like one of those crazy ones that you've seen. And so it basically keeps your kick space open. And that's the key to accommodating both really tall and somewhat short people. So anyone from my friend Danny, who I always use as an example, who's 6'6", all the way down to my 8-year-old daughter who's 4-something, I don't know. So she was pushing it on film not long ago. I have a video of Danny I'm probably gonna post soon where he's pushing it as well. So, and all of that done without an adjustable handle because it keeps the price low, keeps the weight low. So that was a big, big challenge that we worked on. So then I would say the final, I mean, obviously you have the tandem compatibility with the XL1 Best V2. With the XL1 Deluxe, you don't have that option. But then, I mean, look, we have improved the XL1 Deluxe so much. So like people who just bought the XL1 Deluxe right before these were released or known about, you're getting a phenomenal stroller. And so like it's not like I get offended when I see a comment like that, but I almost do because we worked so hard to improve the XL1 Deluxe beyond our initial models. And we thought our initial models were really great strollers. So don't feel like, you know, oh, or if you can only afford the XL1 Deluxe and you want to get it on sale before these come out at $50 more expensive, there's no shame in doing that. This is a phenomenal, phenomenal stroller And everyone who owns a XL1 Deluxe or XL1 Best V1 will say that. I mean, sure, there's issues, but we fix those issues pretty darn quick. And I mean, it's a really, really great stroller. But I will say that the XL1 Best V2, the maneuverability is off the charts for a lightweight compact stroller. I mean, I don't think there's anything out there that can touch it, and you guys will see that when you get the XL1 Best V2. I mean, I was blown away myself when the final production unit showed up. It was actually the Aqua stroller that I keep talking about. When I took this baby for a spin to go get breakfast at the beach, my own product blew me away. And I think I said that in the post, and I was being 1,000,000% honest. I almost got like goosebumps because I'm like, wow, this is what we were trying to do with the design. This is it, man. So I can't wait for you guys to actually get these and start steering them around and everything. But with that said, you know, every once in a while you'll see a review that says, you know, ZOE, the front wheels wouldn't turn properly or this and that. And like we had like a batch a long time ago that the front wheels were, actually the frames were slightly tweaked. And we fixed all of that a long time ago. If you look at those reviews, they're from like literally years ago. Color's all blown out on you guys. Let's see. Yeah, that'll probably look a little better. Anyways, we fixed all that with the XL1 Deluxe. So you're getting a phenomenal deal, phenomenal stroller. And in my opinion, if you don't need the extended recline, you don't care about the wheels, or you don't care about, like you're just like, I just need a lightweight stroller that I can like do popping in and out of. I can, you know, throw in and out of my car and all that stuff. The XL1 Deluxe is going to serve that purpose really, really well, especially if you have older kids. It's just we made it even better with the Best V2. So definitely no shame in getting the XL1 Deluxe. And in my opinion, it's a heck of a deal at $129.99. I mean, I actually have argued to not sell it at that price because I think it's too inexpensive for what you're getting, to be honest with you. Just to pull the XLC in really quick, because I think my phone is literally about to die. And if it cuts off, I'll post about the giveaway, okay? But hopefully I can do this really quick. On the XLC, I'm trying to think of the fastest way to do this, because there's not a ton that really needs to be explained here. It's for a different customer. It's for the person who wants the most compact pop in and out, but mostly super duper travel stroller, okay? So that's why the XLC has the crazy compact fold on it, okay? That's the XLC right there. It's going in just about every single, it can fit in every single overhead, but it's going in just about every single overhead out here, or out there. And unlike others, it has a really deep recline, has the 4-panel canopy, just as much coverage as the XL1, whether it's the Deluxe or the Best V2, it's just a different depth to it, okay? The one thing you probably pick up here that you don't have on these other strollers is that adjustable footrest. And we had to make a choice engineering-wise and testing-wise and all that stuff. There's like weird little standards that you have to test to in the baby industry, either this or the cup holders in the belly bar. And so what we did was we put one on one model and one on the other model. That way, if one was more important to you guys than the other, you get to choose that beyond the other decisions that you would make with this, you know, the differences in the product naturally. So same price, same weight. I won't even compare the XLC to the XL1 Deluxe because it's like, I mean, it's not night and day or anything, but it's like totally, it's kind of a whacked out comparison in my opinion. But with these two, I did a super detailed comparison video. So just look back on that. It's actually on the product pages as well, where you can see these two compared as well in detail. And then you could take the comparison I just did between these two and marry it up to the XLC if you want to. All right. I think I might be out of energy. I think it's time to do the giveaway. What do you guys think? Anybody who's stuck with me this long, you deserve a chance at a free stroller, in my opinion. So now we got to think of a question that I can ask you guys to enter the giveaway. So why don't you give me some ideas in the comments below. Just pound away at some questions that you think would be fun to answer. And I love all the, when you're live on Facebook, there's like all these, and when people really like what you're doing, there's just so many little emojis and stuff that come through here. It's so cool. Like fills up the screen. Anyways, you tell me, what should I ask you guys as a giveaway question? And you're blowing me up with emojis. I love it. Oh wow, I'm trying to scroll to the bottom of the comments here. Wow, I can't even get to the bottom. Amazing. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's so cool, Elizabeth. Your baby's name is Zoe. So cool. We didn't think that, you know, it's natural that we would sell lots of strollers to people with kids' names who are Zoe, or, you know, people who themselves are named Zoe, but it is kind of natural, so it's really, really cool. Let's see if we could name. That's kind of a cool question. If we could name a color of a Zoe stroller, what would it be? All right, I'm just reading through these. Yeah, these are great, man. What is the... Angela, I think you're asking what's the most you've sold to one customer? Is that... I think that's a question for us. We have some customers that'll buy a lot, actually, and then I don't know if they maybe resell them to people who can't get our strollers. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm just reading your questions here. If you're just tuning in, you, because I see the numbers going up. It always goes up as soon as I talk about a giveaway. You missed the entire Q&A and you don't deserve a free stroller. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe you were here earlier and tuning back in. Let's see. What feature is most important to you? Yep. Okay, I think I got it. So here's what you have to answer. And actually, I'm gonna type it in because it makes it so much easier for you guys. Okay, so to enter the giveaway, let me type this in before my phone dies, hopefully. This is where it goes blank, I'm sure. Hold on one second. Let's see. I'm typing, so you're gonna get some pounding on the screen here. Don't fail me now. Let's see. I'm typing the question into the comments that you'll have to answer to enter this giveaway. And I'm going to announce the winners on the other two as well. I'm a little bit scatterbrained right now, so don't worry, I'm going to post the winners. And remember, if you win a giveaway, you can choose to get a refund on your order. So don't wait till like order to see if you want a giveaway. We do that for several reasons, one of which basically because we don't want people hoping they win a giveaway and then we run out of stock on a color and then they hate us and all that stuff. So let's see. Almost done. and like 218 people waiting on you. Sorry, hold on one sec. Proofreading. I'm sure I misspelled like 5 words. Okay. Where is the last place you saw a ZOE stroller in public? And reply directly to my comment, okay? Just to keep it organized. I try to like include, what was the mad face about? I love the mad people at the end. All right. Hopefully that was a joke. I hate to make people mad. Okay, here's the question for the giveaway, okay? And just reply directly to my comment that I just posted. Where's the last place you saw a ZOE stroller in public? But if you've never seen one in public, where do you think you would see one? Or how did I say it? Where do you think you would likely see one? Okay? This is a really interesting question because honestly, I'm like at work and at home, at work and at home. Like I'm a super busy, business dad basically. So I never get a chance to see our strollers in public. And when I do, it's like, Disney or like somewhere like ultra, like uber popular or whatever. But I get texts from friends all the time, or even comments here on Facebook from customers or potential customers, friends, whoever, just saying, hey, we saw, a bunch of ZOE strollers in New York, or we saw them at Disney. I saw them, at the charity race. My friend just told me, I saw several of your strollers at the mall. And then another one at a charity race that we just did. There was like several ZOEs there, which it's always like amazing to me because, it's just incredibly flattering and so cool. So, anyways, it's an interesting question for us. It's just fun. So if you've never seen a ZOE stroller in public, no problem. Just tell me where you think you would likely see a ZOE stroller, and maybe use the logic of who we are as a company and who we are catering to with the customer. The on-the-go parent, lightweight, compact, backpacks, all that stuff. Let me just make sure everything's going good. Yes, Jeopardy's song, Sharon, yeah. That's what was going through my head. Let's see. Target, yes. Which city? Which city? New York? Target, maybe? Let's see. Yeah, I saw one in Queens. Awesome. Yep. Children's Museum. Awesome. Saw one in Vancouver. That's cool. We don't even sell to Canada. Soon we will, though. Any Canadians out there, we're coming for you. Awesome. I'm just reading through the comments. I guess I could do this off of live video, right? All right, guys. Just respond to that question and you enter into our giveaway. The giveaway will end when I have time to end it. And probably in the next day or two. And yeah, all the products are starting to really come together. Once we finish uploading all the media, which is pretty much done for the single strollers, we're going to go ahead and launch those for sale. And it's like my least favorite thing to say, but it's not a sales ploy or gimmick or anything like that. We literally have way more people on the email list than we have products coming in. So if you miss the color that you want or the product that you want, it won't be that long, probably like 4 weeks or so until the next batch arrives. But definitely sign up for the email alerts on the product pages. I don't want anyone to miss out. And last time we had major website crashing issues and all this stuff with the website for the twin launch. So hopefully we won't have that again. We're going to try to stay ahead of that. But anyways, sign up for the email alerts and definitely enter the giveaway. It's so easy, and we'll choose a winner in the next couple days. All right, guys, take care.